Hey there, and welcome back to Transformers Revenge of the Fallen the game. Thanks to the sudden and unexpected leak of the Revenge of the Fallen dev build, a great many feats that were once impossible now finally are. Most notably is playing as characters we never had a chance to before now. And what better way to initiate this escapade than with an examination of the most highly requested character of all time, the Fallen himself. Yep. I cannot think of a character that I've received more requests to cover than this one. And thanks to this build, I can at last deliver him to you. Gameplay will be a bit tight since you're confined to a limited time frame to freely move him around, but I should be able to make it work. Enough talk. The Fallen shall rise again now. Let us claim our son. Here, at long last, we have the Fallen. This easily has to have been one of the most highly requested videos of all time. And again, thanks to the leak of the Xbox dev build, I can finally show him off to you. So the Fallen appears only in the final chapters of both the Autobot and Decepticon campaigns. You're never really able to get a close look at him, as he frequently stands atop the pyramid, shielding himself with a whirlwind of debris. Visually, the Fallen looks a lot better than the majority of the characters in the game. This may be due to his texture quality being somewhat less oily compared to some of the others, along with some exceptional shading on him. Additionally, the Fallen has an entire separate set of flame meshes that engulf just about every single point of his body, giving them more of a 3D effect. His rig seems to be very much based upon Megatron's, albeit with some obvious modifications to compensate for his various unique appendages. Let's take him to a more open space so we can get a better look at him. Now that we got the Fallen out in the open, we could get a cleaner look at him without any obstructions. As I said, the Fallen shares a rig quite similar to what you see on Megatron, albeit with several modifications made to compensate his unique design. The most apparent of these being the rib connectors to his arms. They aren't connected on the model itself, per se. They're just positioned close enough to give off that impression, as if you check it from a specific angle, you could see where the arms and the rib connectors are separate. But that is his most obvious distinction. We can also take a closer look at his face, which is fairly close to what you see in the final film, but I think there are a few slight deviations. But overall, he still looks really darn good. Though I believe he does have a separate mesh for when he gets impaled through the face at the final cutscene. And his final most obvious distinction is, of course, his feet. He's got all these sharp toes down there, where Megatron just had a simple tread foot. So the Fallen is quite a bit more involved on that front. But in general, they seem to share a pretty similar rig. No issues that I can find on him. Not that I'd be able to tell you if there was one anyway, but in general, he seems pretty well built. That's pretty much all I have to say as far as the visual analysis goes. Let's get down into gameplay. Thanks to the various dev tools, we can get a boatload of data on this guy. Starting with his health, the Fallen has a whopping 5,000 total health points, making him quite the worthy foe. Though with his head being as big as it is, it also makes him a somewhat easier target under the right circumstances. When it comes to movements, the Fallen can actually perform all the maneuvers a standard playable character can. He can walk, run, with an animation I don't think I've seen before, jump, jump slam, and he can even climb, though you don't get a lot of space here to do so. When it comes to weapons, the Fallen has no ranged weapon model, and instead has a simple glowing effect emitting from his hands. For ranged weapons, the Fallen has his primary push gun, which can do 50 damage in a single volley, and can be fired around 7 times before overheating. He also has his secondary charge shot, which can deliver 28 damage from a fully charged blast, and can be fired about 3 times before having to cool down. While in weapon mode, he can also dash in all 4 directions. And for his special ability, he does not teleport, as you'd probably expect, but instead uses his repulse ability, which sends any nearby enemies flying crazy far off and doing 75 damage in the process. For melee, he can actually perform a full free melee combo, which seems to be the exact same series of animations as Megatron uses, and results in doing a maximum damage of 175. The Fallen also has a working charged attack, very similar to what the Seeker uses, that delivers 80 damage upon contact. Well, that's all for robot mode. Let's ascend into flight mode. The Fallen's flight mode is very much like Megatron flights. He can strafe around, he can ascend, and descend, and he can also full-on boost. When it comes to advanced maneuvers, he can perform every single one, albeit some of them aren't fully functional. He has a hover mode, obviously, which he can aim from. He also has functional animations for an advanced melee attack, but for the attack itself does no damage. Same with the ground pound. It has functional animations, but does no discernible damage for the attack itself. And that's really all there is to cover as far as gameplay goes. However, I do want to give him a test in action. I'm not going to have a lot of time to do it because he's on a tight time frame, but to give you a taste of how the Fallen would play, I will demonstrate that. So you would start at the initial stage atop the pyramid, and you would be confined to this position with only a scripted series of throwing animations going on. So you would just have to sit here until you get hit enough, in which case you would teleport down to the map below, which is either a damage-based trigger or a time-based one, depending on which happens first. Typically, you could do enough damage to him to get him down pretty quickly. Megatron does not seem to be wanting to do anything, so that's his problem. But no matter. Once he has either taken enough damage or the time is up, the Fallen will then teleport down to the map below. The teleport is not an active ability, but is instead a scripted sequence. Once he's down here, Megatron will then come for us, and we can engage him as we see fit. We can blast him, hit him with the repulse. Ah, dang it. Oh. Well, he's down. Yeah, gameplay is going to be a bit tight, so to show off more of him, I'm going to put him up against a few more con characters. So next I have brought down Starscream, and I'll give the charge shot a try. It's also got a lock on. Ooh. Got some pretty hefty knockback too. Also worth noting that the Fallen will teleport if he is hit by too many rapid-fire projectiles. In this case, being Starscream's Gatling gun. So you want to go with a more powerful weapon, like Megatron's secondary weapon, to take him down. And after a specific time frame, he will teleport and trigger the first wave of enemies. Sometimes he despawns, and sometimes he will remain here. Sometimes he will stay behind, and you can play as him a little more. But we got Starscream back again. My reinforcement should be here shortly to help me out. Get him! Slaughter him! For the Fallen! Get him, my minions! Get him! Got him! Starscream is no more. Alright, I think we got one more we could do. And we'll go queue him up now. Alright, last one I can bring out is Grindor. Albeit he'll be a bit buggy, but no matter. Let's take him down. Oh, he glitched. That's your problem, bud. Oh. Good enough. Yeah, that's really about as much as you could get with the Fallen as far as gameplay goes. You're on a strict time frame, so you can't do a whole lot, unfortunately. But suffice to say, if they wanted to make him as a DLC character, I think they could have easily done it. He's pretty much got all the coding he would need. Just needs some slight tweaks for his advanced maneuvers, and he's all set. But yeah, that is The Fallen. This is pretty amazing to experience at last. Just seeing this guy in first person is just crazy cool. I will try and do some other bosses if I can. Demolisher, unfortunately, is currently blocked. I will see if I can find a way to get him working, but for right now, he is unavailable, which stinks because he's one I really wanted to see too, but I'll see what I can do. For now, I'll leave this here, and we'll return next time for another massive examination. I think you know who that is. The Devastator himself. That'll be a treat, won't it? Well, I will see you there next time. Till then, revenge is mine.